Hello friends, welcome to the class. Today we are going to see the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process in digital communication, and we know that this is a very important process whenever we want to study our signal into the vector space, right? Now what we learned today, we learned what is signal space, what is orthonormal basis function, and definitely what is Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process, and we'll also see a suitable example for Gram-Schmidt process for the better understanding of the concept. Now to start with the Gram-Schmidt, first we should see the signal space representation. What is the meaning of signal space representation? Actually, whenever we want to represent our signal in the form of vector, then the representation of signal waveforms can be said as signal space representation. Now the question is why we want to represent our signal in the form of vector. If we do some mathematical analysis of certain concepts, then it may be helpful that we should represent our signal st in the form of vector. Means we can say that if we represent the signal in the form of vector, then many calculations, lots of concepts can be analyzed with the help of vector mathematics. Okay, so if you represent your signal in the form of vector, then it can be named as signal space representation. And to study signal space, we should know something about inner product. So here we have taken two signals, one is xt and the other one is yt, and it is defined in the interval 0 to t. So to calculate the inner product, of these two signals, we can use this relationship, that is xt comma yt is equal to integration 0 to capital T xt yt dt. So with the help of this formula, we can calculate the inner product, right? And for the calculation of norm or length of any signal xt, it can be done like this, that the norm of xt can be defined by the inner product, and the inner product in of xt and yt. Here at the place of yt will write xt, means because I want to calculate the norm of a signal xt. So here we are having only a single signal, that's why we have to take the inner product of the signal with its own value, right? So it will be inner product of xt comma xt. So here it can be represented as 0 to capital T, and if you put xt at the place of yt, then it can be xt square dt. And if we see that how we can calculate the energy of any signal, then we can say that the energy of any signal xt can be simply written as integration of xt square dt. So this is the formula for energy, right? And here we can see that this is the same relationship, 0 to t xt square dt. So you can say that this is nothing but the energy of the signal xt. So the norm will be, or the length will be, under root of the inner product or under root of the energy of the signal, right? So here the norm of, or the length of xt can be simply under root of energy of the signal. So here we have seen what is the inner product and what is the value of norm. To use these both formula for when we use the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process. Now further, we know that what is signal space representation. It means that we are representing the signal in the form of vector. Now if we are having signal in the form of vector, then we should also know that what is that property when two vectors can be said as orthogonal to each other, right? For example, this is phi it and this is phi jt. both this phi it and phi jt are orthogonal to each other, how we can prove it mathematically? So what we'll do, we'll calculate the inner product of phi it and phi jt, and if this inner product is equal to some value that is called Cj when I is equal to j, and it should be equal to 0 when I is not equal to j, right? So this is the condition to check the orthogonality of two vectors. So what this formula means, that you have to take the inner product of two different vector, then the value should be 0. If we are calculating the inner product of two same vector, it should be the energy of that signal, which is nothing but Cj, right? So we should find some energy of the signal if the inner product is of two same vector, that is I is equal to j. But if I is not equal to j, it means that we are taking the inner product of two different vectors, then should be equal to 0. This is the property of orthogonality. And more specifically, if this Cj, the energy of the vector phi it or phi t whatever is equal to 1, right, means it is, this signal is of unit energy, then this orthogonality can be named as, then orthogonality can be named as orthonormality, right? So see, both these things are clearly written here. If the inner product of phi it phi jt is equal to Cj when I is equal